Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm gonna show you how I install the T-Style radio. This is the Linkswell version. I did a video about the unboxing and the content review. If you are interested to see, I'm gonna include the link below. So now it's time to install it. Let's see. So the first thing to do is to remove this console. So let's start by removing this first. Okay, so now just need to leave this cover from this area. So let me try this first. To pull this whole thing to the outside, basically here. Okay, so now this is the bottom section and the upper section, which is the AC unit. It's just disconnect this plug here and the AC unit is out. Yeah, there's another one down there. Let me turn on the light. So now you can see it's right there. There are 4 bolts that need to be removed in order to remove the radio completely from there. So let's do that now. To remove the 4 bolts, I'm gonna use a 10mm socket here. Let me okay, this is the 6 inches extension, and this is required to remove the 2 bolts in the sides. Next step is to disconnect everything from the radio here. Okay, let's see what we have here. We have here the radio harness. Here it's everything that needs to be connected to the new harness, and this is the climate control harness connection, and this is a GPS connection. Unfortunately, I cannot use this one. I tried to find a connector to see if I can use the GPS factory antenna instead of the one that came with the unit, but the thing is that the adapter that I found on eBay is not compatible with this connection, because this one is a little bit bigger. This is compatible with the unit. It fit into the unit connection, but not into the it's not compatible with the this factory connection. This is bigger than this one, so I have to take a look at it. Meanwhile, I'm gonna use the GPS antenna that came with the kit for now, until I can find that converter, and that way I will be able to use the factory GPS antenna instead. So here, this quick summary here. This is the USB cable connection. This is if you want to retain the USB input on this panel below the radio. This is the USB here. Also we have here the radio antenna, which is this plug connector, and the main harness and all the stuff that required, you know, to keep the factory antenna, the JBL audio amplifier in this case. Okay, before to start with all the connections, there are some wiring here that we need to set up before. For example, this is the Tundra climate cable that needs to be connected to the CAN box that came with the unit, so it fit only in one way. So let's do this first. It is connected. Okay, so the other end on the CAN box must be connected to the main harness. The main harness has a connector for it. Here is it. It has a label that says to the CAN box. So this one, it's going to be connected to the other end of the CAN box. Let me just connect it here. Okay, so we already have this in place. There is another thing here that says emergency light. This cable from this end of the CAN box needs to be connected to another terminal here in the main harness that says emergency light. So both of them say the same thing. Here you are. So make sure you connect it so you don't forget it later. Okay, all right. So this is how it looks, the main connector, the main harness, I mean, with the CAN box on it. So let's proceed with the next step now. Okay, so far we have the CAN box connected to the main harness, and the next step is this one. Is really important. If you want to keep the reverse camera, the factory reverse camera working, you make sure you use this harness. This is the one that says CAN box CAN input. This is going to be connected to the radio, and the other end here is one video cable that says factory camera input. This is the one that says factory, I mean, this is front camera. Let me see if there is another right camera and factory. This is the one that I needed, factory camera input. And the thing is, the main harness has a connection for this terminal, so make sure, here is it, this one says reverse camera. So this is important. You have to connect this here, and this other end is going to be later connected to the radio. And this is important. If you don't do this connection, your reverse camera is not going to work when you change the gear to reverse. So this is a very important thing. Another thing that it's important to retain the auxiliary input is this harness from here. It says auxiliary input, and this end is going to be connected to the radio, and this one we are going to use the red and the white audio cables if you want to return the auxiliary input. So we are going to connect these two into the main harness also. So find on your main harness here the audio auxiliary cables, which are the same color, these two, and connected in the right place here. So this is important if you want to retain your auxiliary audio input. I'm talking about these inputs right here in this panel. This is the audio auxiliary input. If you want to also retain the USB input from this panel below, you have to use also this harness that came with the unit. It has two different connections because depending on the model that you have, this connector can be different. In my case, this is the one that I have, and this is going to be connected right here from the radio harness. It's very unique connection. So basically make sure it is aligned properly and just connected. So this is important because this is the one that you are gonna use when you want to connect your phone to the radio, and you are gonna do it via this port. If you don't do that, then you have to connect this terminal to the radio and then have this connection hanging around every time you want to use it. I think it looks better to keep the factory connections instead of having this around. So I'm not gonna use this for now because this connection will allow me to use this port right here. Well, hopefully I will have. I have to check that just to make sure, but that's what I think about it. Let's see later when I test it. Okay, so we have all the main harness with all the connections basically before to proceed and connect everything else. Let me see what here we have also another harness, which is important, and this needs to be connected right here from the radio antenna, which is this one. Okay, so let me connect it right here. I don't know if I already mentioned that, but this one is for the satellite and radio. This is one of the things that you are going to lose if you install this unit. This is not compatible with the XM radio. So unfortunately, this is something that is gonna be loose. In my case, I'm not gonna use it. I'm not using it, and for that reason, for me, it's not a bad thing. Okay. So so far from the radio, we have the radio on the factory radio connections. We already have the USB and the radio antenna connected, and that's it. And we have all the pre-wiring set up in the main harness, and we are ready now to start connecting everything to the remaining connections here, and also to the radio. So let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and connect all the main harness connectors. So let's start with the climate control, which is this one. There is a connector here that says to climate. It's already connected to the canvas. And this one, take a look of it. And this is going to be connected by here. Take a look of the position, make sure it is aligned correctly, and just insert it. Okay, we have the first one, and this is going to be connected to the radio, not to the harness. And this is going to be connected to the radio also. So here is another big connector that is going to be connected right here. Let me see what's wrong. I don't see. Okay, there is a problem here. I don't know if you can see it, but one of the pin is not correctly positioned. So I need something. So for that reason, it's gonna be it's better that you connect this very carefully, because you never know when something is not correctly positioned. Okay, let's see now. This way. No. Okay, I'm not gonna. I don't want to force it because I can break this thing. So make sure there is something that is not aligned here. Let me carefully align it. So the best way to avoid that probably is first review all the pins and then try to hold this straight so it doesn't, you know, doesn't take any other direction than the correct one. So let me try it again. There you go. Now it is connected successfully, and let's go to the other one here. The good thing is that this is a very unique. You cannot connect this other place because all of them are very different. So that's a good thing. It's a very mistake-proofing connection. Okay, let me see the other one here. All right, so we have everything here. So all connectors are in place right now from here. And let's now proceed and install all this into the radio. Okay, so this is how it looks. Really messy, a lot of stuff here, but it is what it is. Before to put this unit in place, just make sure you install these yellow pins, and you have to remove those from the factory radio and install it on this unit. So there is one on each corner, so make sure you have the 4 of them in place. Otherwise this unit is not gonna keep, you know, in the right position. Thing that you have to do before to put this unit in place, I highly recommend, is to remove these 2 covers here, because you need that space to introduce the socket extension, so you can put the bolts in there. You can, if you have a trimming tool, you can use it to remove from the front side. Otherwise you can basically go this way, and there are 2 small pins there that you can basically press and push the cover to the outside basically. Let me show you. It's just very simple, this way. Okay, also you can remove it if you have a trim tool like this one. You can just insert it in one of the side, and basically that's it. Lift it, and there you go. This is it. Okay, let's start and connect all these wires to the radio. So let me start with the climate control, which is a small one. Below the main unit is this one. Here is it. This is don't worry about the labels at this time, because this is can fit only in one place. So there is the climate control cable. This is the USB cable that's gonna be connected right here. And what else we have? We have the main connector here. All right. Here we have the CAM inputs. There is only one place where you can connect it. And this is the auxiliary input. It's going to be connected. I think it's right here. No, it's in the top left corner. Okay. So this is the auxiliary input. This is the USB input. And this is the cam inputs, basically the camera inputs. So what else we have around? We have the antenna right here, the antenna cable. Let me just put it this way and connect it right here. And let me see what else. Okay, that's all for now. Okay, in addition to the connections, there are 3 other things that also needs to be connected in order to, you know, have all the functions working. One of them is the GPS antenna. As I mentioned before, I plan in the future to buy a converter so I can use the factory antenna. The other one is this harness together with the microphone, and this is the Wi-Fi antenna. So before to connect these 3 things to the radio, you have to install where you go. I'm gonna keep it so you can run the wire up to the unit. So let's take a look at that. Okay, for the GPS antenna and the microphone cable, I have it here. I run the cable all the way there, and I got it down below there. So I have them here. So I will figure out later where I'm gonna install it, but for now I just, you know, run the cable right there so that I can continue with the installation. So I figure out later where I'm gonna put these 2 things. For the Wi-Fi antenna, what I'm gonna do, because I don't need a long range for it. So basically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep the Wi-Fi antenna someplace around there inside. And so I'm just going to connect it there and leave it there. So let's see. Connect it right here. All right, it is there. This is the Wi-Fi. So I don't need this much cable, so I'm gonna put everything together and put something here. All right, and that's it. So I have the Wi-Fi, and here this is the GPS antenna connection. It's right in place. And the microphone. For the microphone, I need this additional harness. So the one I'm gonna use is this one. So here is the microphone connection, and then connect this end to the radio. Let me see. Looks like it goes right here. Nope, it's in the right top corner. That's the last one. So that's it. Okay, now it's time to put the radio finally in place. So what I'm gonna do is gonna lift everything, all these cables, push out with the climate control because that's limited. This one, the climate control cannot be lifted too much, so I'm gonna start to insert everything and trying to push it up direction to the top. So make sure nothing is between these brackets and the base. So take your time, try to organize everything the best you can. Here's the antenna, Wi-Fi antenna. I'm gonna hold it right here on top. Okay, stay there. All right, here we go. So, alright, let's see if I can keep all this up. Okay, it's okay. Before to install the 2 bolts on the sides, I'm gonna turn it on to see if it works as expected. So let me put the truck on reverse. Okay, so I don't see it, I cannot see it, so the default setting here is AHD. So I'm gonna change to auto just to see what happens. Yeah, it works there. So for some reason the default setting isn't working for this camera, and so what I'm gonna do is to see if I can change the default value here. I don't know, let me change it back to parking and change it to reverse, and it kept the last setting. But let me turn off the truck to see if it keep the same setting after I turn off the truck and turn it on again, just to make sure. Okay, let's wait for it until it boots. It's taking around 30 seconds, I think, to boot. Let's see. Okay, accept it. Let's put in reverse, and it kept the same setting, so that's a good thing. So it is working as expected so far. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is to test how long it takes when if I turn the truck and put the gear on reverse. Let's see how long we have to wait for it. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it on right now. Okay, it takes around 10 seconds, which is good. We don't have to wait until it boots completely, apparently, because it takes around 30 seconds to boot, and so you can use the interface. So that's a good thing for me. So I changed it to parking. The unit is still loading, so it's nice to know that the camera view does not rely or does not depend on the unit to boot completely. Okay, let me see the backlight of the buttons when I turn on the lights. Let's see, it looks really nice. Let me see if the air conditioning is working. Well, no, I don't see any effect on that. So one of the things we have to do probably is to configure the air conditioning settings. So for that we are gonna be going to the settings. Okay, let's go to home and find the settings here. Probably on system, setting guide. Oh, there is a setting guide there. Car motor AC. So here we have Tundra low. Here we have to choose. In my case, I have seat heaters and a dual climate control, so probably this is the correct setup for me. And I'm gonna keep the rest the same. I'm gonna hit OK here. Can't find any logo. Okay, no problem with that. So I think that should be all. Let me go back. And it's important, if you don't click go back, you won't be able to hit or to click this save and reboot. And if you don't do that, the changes are not gonna take effect. So make sure you click on save and reboot, click OK, and the next time it boots, it should have the correct interface aligned to, you know, my features, the feature that this truck has, the heated seats and the dual climate control on the stuff. So let's see if it works. So the only concern I was thinking on was the boot time it takes. The time it takes to boot completely because of the reverse camera, but having the feature that the reverse camera does not depend on the boot, I think that solves the issue. So I'm happy with it. Okay, now let's see if this has an effect. Let me go up. Yep, it is working. Right now it's working. Okay, let me see temperature here, 60 degrees. Let me go there. Yes, it is working. So it looks like something is missing here in the UI. I don't see any option to turn on the heats on the seats or to turn on the ventilation on the seats. Okay, let's go again to the settings. And on the system tab there is another option that says seat and steering wheel. So let's go there, and now I'm gonna turn on the heated seats because I have heated seats and cool seats. I'm gonna hit OK and save and reboot and OK. Here is it. This is the fan for the cooling system for the seat, and this is for the heater. Yeah, it is working. So let's see if this one is working too. Yes, it is working. Here and there. So now it's time to put the bolts. You have to use an extension like this one. It has like 10 inches. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I have a piece of tape and I'm gonna add it, basically covering the bolts a little bit, but not too much. It's something just a little bit to keep it into position so that I can pull this back without major problems. So basically any tape I think can be used for this, and this is how it. Okay guys, let me show you how it looks. Let me turn on the flash. So it's basically straight forward there. You see the hole there? This is where the ball have to go. So basically it's straight when you insert the ball there, all the way straight there. Okay, let's give it a try. Where is it? There is it. So now let's insert this all the way there. There you go. I feel that it is in the right position right now. Let's continue. Yeah, I can bolts it anymore, so let me use this and this one. So now I can apply some pressure before I remove it. All right. Okay, that's it. So now I can pull this back, and there you go. Okay, now it's time to install these caps. I'm very careful with it. Okay. Here is another one. Make sure the two pins from the top are aligned to the two dents here. There is two in the top and one in the bottom, so it must be aligned to that. So make sure it is in the correct position, and that's it. Okay, let's install this panel in the right position here. Make sure nothing is in the wrong place, and that's it. Okay, now it's time to install this console. It's very simple, just placing back the way it was. Apply some pressure. Okay, and then install the shifter nut back into position, and that's it. Okay, so for the microphone, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this holder here, and I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna keep it right here, so I'm just I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep it right here. I'm gonna let's keep this in too. I'm just gonna put it here, and I'm gonna apply some pressure here so the cable will hold it. I don't know if this is gonna work as expected on this in this position, but I'm gonna test it. So there is it, and the rest of the cable I'm gonna hide just in the rear side of it. Okay, so this is how it looks here in there. So the cable is all the way to the back side. Okay, so for the GPS, I ran the cable all the way around here below this stuff. I don't know if you can see it there. So it is behind this this cover, from this corner here up there up to there. So I didn't remove anything. I just put the cable here and applied some pressure, so the cable is you cannot see the cable there. So that's basically what I did. So the same thing here, I just put the cable on this corner and put some pressure on it, so the cable is totally hidden, cannot be seen. So very easy to do. There are a lot of stuff there. There are a lot of applications that you can install, like Netflix and all that stuff. So the idea is now to use it for a couple of weeks. I'm gonna create a new video, so I'm gonna show you how to install some of the popular applications. I'm gonna provide more about its review to see if it keeps working as expected. Many other things. Also, I have the anytime backup camera system. I'm gonna explain how to integrate that system with this. So far, it is installed as the factory setup, but I talk more about that later. So I hope you like this video. Please hit like the button below if you like this. Remember to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my future videos.